What is up? It's Victor Wilt. Good morning and a glorious Thursday to you. Man, things you never think you're going to read about Utah. This must have been absolutely frightening for the average Utah skier to see. On a recent appearance on the Where Everybody Knows Your Name podcast, Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers was talking about his wild rock and roll lifestyle. And he was talking with Woody Harrelson, asked him if he remembered the time the two of them went snowboarding in Utah. And I don't know if you've seen random videos of Flea live, but he has been known to take all of his clothes off on stage before and, just cover himself up with only his bass. Apparently Woody Harrelson and Flea, I don't know what resort they were at. No matter which one it was, it seems like a good way to get yourself arrested in Utah. But the two of them decided to strip down and just do some naked snowboarding. Flea said he was ready to post the footage on Instagram, but Woody's wife was like, don't do that, please. It would have gone viral. Woody Harrelson said he thought the footage was great. I don't know. It's cold outside. When you're snowboarding. There's numerous reasons that you probably don't want to post the footage. All right? I don't need to elaborate. But also, can you imagine just wrecking in the snow? Fully nude? Be terrible. Going outside in winter is terrible. So, much as I've recommended people go check out a nude resort once in their life, I don't know if I'd recommend, if you're thinking about stripping down somewhere, that the ski hill's the place to do it. There's much more pleasant places to engage in that kind of activity. Somewhere warm, somewhere where it's not below freezing and you're literally surrounded by ice. But man, I'm surprised that wasn't a news story when it happened, because I guess this was a while back. Seems like Utah would be horrified, but I don't know. Maybe they're getting wild down there in Park City. Maybe things are changing in Utah. Learning how to party with Flea and Woody. I got to give a public shout out to my kids. Well, one of them's my kid. I don't know if her boyfriend counts, but my daughter Taryn, as well as her boyfriend Matt. I guess he sort of counts. He's been around long enough. They're living together and buying a house. I guess I might as well count him as a kid at this point. Great kids. For my birthday, they bought me new tubes for my guitar amp / bass amp. It's a bass amp, but doom metal bands use it as a guitar amp. Legendary amp, originally known as the Sun, the Sun Model T or something? I don't know. It's a Fender Bassman 300, and it's the most ridiculous crushing amp of all time. Hence why all the doom metal bands use it. You just rip faces off. But, I don't know, about a decade ago, I was needing to replace the tubes, and then I blew a fuse, and it just went out of commission. Now, the tubes are very expensive. For the set of the power tubes, 6 of those, it's about $350. The preamp tubes, about another 100. So the kids got me the power tubes for my birthday. And I was like, what are you kids doing getting me something that expensive? But my daughter's boyfriend's a guitar player. I had told him about this amp. I think he was excited to see me get it up and running again. So they got me the power tubes. I picked up the preamp tubes, hit up Vern's Radio Shack in Idaho Falls. They special ordered me the fuses I needed. Got that thing all cleaned up. Got the tubes in. I've been working on this for about 2 months. And then final thank you here to my homie JD, who stopped by the house last night. He brought all his electrician type gear and biased the tubes. It's a process where you dial in the electrical current, and I don't know how that works. And Anyway, he dialed it all in, and then he helped me EQ it out and get it sounding good again. Because, it had been sitting in my garage for literally a decade. So we got it all dialed in. I hooked up my bass guitar and then just crushed it down. It sounds better than I remember. It's as satisfying as ever to play. There is something to be said about a powerful amp. If you're a guitar or bass player, it just feels good. Feels good to just crush it. So shout out to Taryn, Matt, and JD for helping me make that happen. It was like a celebration last night when I got that thing up and running. And boy, did my kitten not like it. She was terrified. I would have thought with how many times I've crushed down my sound system in the living room, because it's pretty loud, that she wouldn't have been too fazed. But maybe it was because the noise was coming from a different area of the house. She didn't know what to do. Came down from my studio. She was all wild-eyed, like, what's happening? Poor little kitty. She's rocking the cone. One more week, kitten, and I can take the cone off. But man, it was so fun. Next thing I got to do is my Axe Effects, which is my guitar effects rig. It's hooked up to my computer. And so it's one of these major first world problems. I've got my studio monitors hooked up to the Axe Effects and all my computer stuff is running through it. I'd have to disconnect it and move it to play it through the amp. And then I got to figure out a different way to hook up my studio monitors to the computer. Life is rough. I'll get it figured out though. I got to see what it's like to crush the Axe Effects through that thing. I bet it would be mind-blowing. So, very excited to have that up and running again. I posted a photo on my socials if you want to see what the... It's just a picture of an amp in my studio with all the red lights on and things like that, but I was very happy. That might have been part of the reason I had such difficulty getting to sleep. I was rocking bass for quite some time last evening. It's a good way to spend your evenings with a amp cranked up. I had it on 4, which, it goes to 10, but 4 on this thing. Again, I'm ready to take the stage at a stadium with this amp. It's awesome. So awesome. So that was my evening. And it's always good to have good kids and good friends in your life to help you out. I've got a great life, that's for sure. I got a wonderful lady, good kids, cats that are good most of the time, and coworkers that I guess they're okay. I guess they're all right. Well, I don't think my fellow cat people would be very happy with me if I didn't do a cat break on International Cat Day. Now, I know I do plenty of cat breaks. I already did a cat break, but I didn't know it was International Cat Day. Usually I ignore today's random holidays, but I had all of these different cat things show up, like cat polling results, and like, okay, I guess I'll talk about my cats. I guess I've got to get over to the K-Bear 101 Idaho Rock and Metal group, post a picture of the kitties, and be like, all right, show me your cats on International Cat Day. That's what you do on social media, right? I'll actually do that. Give me a few. But, I don't know, these cat things that I got sent, they're kind of strange, all right? Like the best cities for cat people. What would constitute a great city for cats? All right? I got no idea on this one. Apparently, Orlando, Florida, the best city for cat people. Now, why? Florida don't sound like a place for cats. There's gators out there, all right? I paid to have somebody come get my kitten out of a tree because I was worried about a hawk potentially swooping in and taking her away, all right? Yeah, I called every tree person in East Idaho. I was like, please, come get my cat out of the tree. Luckily, I found one who was like, yeah, I got this. But yeah, gators, I would imagine, now cats move pretty fast. And I would assume if they see a gator, they're out of there. But yeah, what did they base this on? Access to animal shelters, vets, cat-friendly housing. Okay, I guess that would be a good place for cat people, a place where you can rent an apartment or a house and be able to have a cat. I know that's difficult because I've had cats for a long time, and it is challenging to find places that let you have them. Also, lots of pet stores. Okay, well, I'm not moving to Orlando. I'm not moving to Knoxville. Not moving to Vegas. I don't know much about Santa Rosa, California, but it's not on my list right now. Maybe if I visited. Oh, this is it. I am Cats Guy, and here I am, Santa Rosa. Not moving to St. Louis. Richmond, Virginia. Don't know a lot about that. Scottsdale, Arizona. I love Arizona, but I just think I could not handle Scottsdale / Phoenix / that whole area in the summer. I think it's just too brutal for this old man. Wintertime, perfect place to be hanging out during the winter months in Phoenix. But I'm sure it's like 110 today. I haven't looked at it in a while because even though my daughter lives there and is about to move, I was like, do you need help? Nope. Okay. I'll come when the weather's better. Oh, look, they're having a cool spell. High of 106 today. Beautiful weather. Oh, man. Can you imagine having to move in that kind of weather? I'm sure they'll move at nighttime, but it's still like 90. 90 for the low. So if you're moving at 10 p.m., it's probably still 100. That 90's in the middle of the night. Miserable. All right, anyway, where are my other cat stats here? Seemed like there was something else. Oh, 21% of people say they're cat people, so only 1 in 5 of you enjoys when I talk about the cats. I can't help it. I'm a weird cat person, apparently. I'm going to blame my mom. She always had these cats around, all right? And I think if you just grow up around them, I never had a dog, just, cat guy. My kids bought me a mug for Christmas or my birthday or something. Cat dad. Peaches don't like that. Peach is not a fan of cat dads or dog moms. I don't know why he don't like those terms, but they bother him. So if you see him, make sure to tell him about your fur babies and all that kind of stuff. It makes him a little bit crazy. So shout out to my cat people. I'll go make a cat post, all right? And I'll try to avoid more cat talk. I just can't help it, all right? I live at home alone with 2 cats. It's going to pop up in what I talk about because that's my evenings. House, cats. And watching good stuff with my lady over the phone. Got to do what you got to do. All right. I didn't intend to continue on pet talk. Excuse me. Guess I need to get some water. Okay, anyway. Didn't intend to continue with pet talk, but this article popped up that I figured I've got to share with everyone because this goes for all your pets. Dogs, cats, whatever. It's amazing the things they're out there studying, but a new study has revealed that pet owners' farts are turning your pets into nervous wrecks. Yeah, you think your pets are the one living thing in your house that you can probably fart around without any type of embarrassment or worry of disturbing those around you. No, you're disturbing those poor little doggies and kitties when you let one rip. Gives them anxiety. How do you determine that? How do you study and determine whether a fart is giving a pet anxiety? Got all these scientists in a room. All right, bring that one over here. We're just going to sit here and eat beans. And they're just ripping them out one after another. What does it seem to be reacting like? I saw its eyes open up a little bit wider. I think it's bothered. Put that down as agitation. Yeah, this study says that about 1 in 5 pets are left feeling anxious when people fart. But then the article gets into a bunch of other things that your pets don't like. And some of these, it's like, all right, I can try to remember not to fart around the cats, all right? But, if they get agitated by the noise of someone opening the fridge, boy, I can tell you my daughter's cat gets agitated by the noise of opening the fridge. It turns into a complete maniac. I have never seen a cat behave like my daughter's when it comes to food. That cat is crazy. She's a sweet girl, unless there's food involved. When I was in Phoenix, I had some ice cream. I'm waiting for the kids to get home and well, let's take a little drive over to Dairy Queen, I guess, and get a Blizzard. Come back to the apartment and just hanging out, and that cat went insane. I had to lock it in the bathroom so I could eat ice cream. It was like crawling up my leg. It's yowling. I found it in the garbage can one day when I was there. They have to keep a big heavy bucket on top of the garbage lid because this cat it'll do anything it can to get into the trash. If they open the fridge and it can quickly get in there, it'll run off with a steak. This thing's crazy. I went to take it out of the garbage and it went feral on me. I thought the cat was going to kill me because I took it out of the garbage. Again, a very sweet kitty, other than when there's food involved. So yeah, I believe that stat that about 1 in 20 animals becomes crazy when someone opens the fridge. Apparently, 12% of animals don't like it if you're cuddling with somebody or maybe making out a little bit. They get, agitated or jealous or something. I know if I'm petting Koopa, the kitten gets very, very jealous, and she'll jump up because she knows he'll run away if she jumps up on my lap when he's sitting there. So anytime I'm trying to give him some attention, she comes over and just ruins his day. Now, this stat I don't believe. Only about 2 in 5 animals are frightened by the noise of a vacuum cleaner. I have never seen an animal that is not afraid of the vacuum cleaner. That I can recall, probably have. But as far as my cats go, they all hate the vacuum. And Josh was talking to me about his dog, Josh from Classy. What type of dog is that? Like a Russell Terrier? He read online that dogs believe that you're being attacked by the vacuum. Because it kind of, as you're moving it back and forth, kind of looks like, it's attached to your hand and won't let go, and that's why they bark and get crazy. So he said you're supposed to scold the vacuum. No! Nah. I never followed up with him to see if that actually worked to calm his little dog down. But again, I've never seen an animal that is not frightened by the vacuum. Now, then the other things they throw in here are obvious, like, taking them to the vet. Most pets hate that. Fireworks, balloons, boiling kettles? Huh. Never heard of that one. So anyway, just wanted to let you know, basically, you shouldn't fart around your pets. I know. There's no space with any living creature around. You should be ripping them out, apparently. Take note, Peaches. Peaches yesterday was very gassy, and he thought it was so funny. But it was also kind of funny, because like Jade, when he comes in here and farts, he doesn't do anything to let you know. Just all of a sudden, you're hit by toxic fumes, and you have to yell at him. Peaches, he kept putting his shirt over his nose in the studio, like a little kid. I'm like, Peaches, did you fart? And he's like, yeah. I mean, thankfully, I couldn't smell it. It was not Jade-level toxicity. Peaches must have a much better diet than Jade Davis. But multiple times I look over and Peaches has his shirt over his nose. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Get out of here. Go fart in front of somebody's dog or something. Get. So I was on Twitter. I know. I haven't been on there in a while because it's such a dumpster fire, but every once in a while I like to go make a post letting bands know, hey, we've added your song to rotation, and it's easy to do on Twitter. You just tag them, boom, blam, there you go, heads up. And some bands really appreciate that, just knowing we're playing their music. So as I get done making my posts on there, I happen to glance over at what was trending on Twitter, and I see Cannibal Corpse. I'm like, okay, why would Cannibal Corpse be trending? And apparently, there are a lot of people trying to cancel Cannibal Corpse due to the content in their music. All right? I guess some people who had never listened to extreme death metal from back in the day have never analyzed things like lyrical content in Cannibal Corpse songs. And I will admit, some of those songs are extremely vile. All right? But, okay. Here's how I look at bands like Cannibal Corpse as far as lyrical content goes. And this, I've been in bands like this where when we were teenagers, we would write some of the most horrific horror movie style lyrics that you could imagine. That's what I see when I look at bands like Cannibal Corpse. It's like a horror movie, okay? The guys in these bands, it's not like these, horror tales that are being told in these songs are some type of a belief system from these band members or something they're like advocating for. You look at their album art, it's always like something straight out of a horror movie, and the songs reflect that. There have been a number of bands that, in the last decade or so, people have gone back to analyze their lyrical content and get very upset. And I think things were just different back in the day. There's got to still be bands, well, Cannibal Corpse is still active, but got to be plenty of other bands still putting out songs with that type of lyrical content. But again, it's like an audio horror movie, okay? Are people really taking this seriously? Like, there are bands out there that do put terrible beliefs into their music. Bands, they have like an agenda. That is not the case with bands like Cannibal Corpse. I saw some type of an article or a YouTube video or something where people were going after Typo Negative for similar stuff, lyrical content from songs. And I don't know. I guess, again, having been in bands when I was a teenager where we would sit around and we would laugh because of how ludicrous some of the songs we were coming up with were. And they were just like horror movies, And I don't know. Maybe it's just being the horror movie and novel fan that I am. I can get it that it's not real. It's not real. But, I mean, if you look at Cannibal Corpse, the only things you ever see about their front man, which he has a hilarious name, Corpse Grinder. He's like the nicest guy ever. And the thing that he does is he's out on the road or just for fun while off the road. He goes out to the arcade with his kids and he wins a whole bunch of stuffed animals from the claw games. And then he donates them to needy children and things like that. I'm telling you look up pictures of Corpse Grinder, half the ones you find are going to be him holding stuffed animals. Super nice guy. And he does all these things to help out people. Here's a post that popped up. Corpse Grinder donating toys to John Hopkins Children's Hospital. And he's got bags and bags and bags of them. I don't know. Again, there are bands who put hateful material into their music, and I think they should be called out for that because they're spreading a belief system. I don't think that's the case with bands like Cannibal Corpse. it's ludicrous to me to think that people really believe that as well with how over the top these lyrics are. Okay, I'm not saying you should right now just go reading their lyrics. You'd be like, you might be horrified because again, about as vile as it can get. But I don't see the difference as a horror fan, to listening to Cannibal Corpse compared to reading a novel by Richard Lehman or Jack Ketchum, Stephen King, or watching Hostel. It's all kind of in the same vein. It's entertainment. It's not real, okay? So anyway, I don't think it's going to be a successful campaign to cancel Cannibal Corpse, but trust me, there are worse dirtbags out there in the entertainment world to go after. Everybody, Cannibal Corpse, everything I understand about them is they're really good people. You talk to metalheads in the industry, everybody has nothing but good things to say about these guys. So, metalheads are nerds, okay? I've talked about it plenty of times. The nicest people generally that you're going to meet are metalheads. I've talked to people who work at concert venues. The metal shows are always their favorite because the crowds are the best behaved. All right, the worst? I've asked tons of different people who work at venues what the worst crowds are, and 100% of the time, they always say country music fans. Always. So, yeah, I mean, we could start digging into some of the lyrical content in popular country music. Go after some of those guys, the guys out there spreading hate. Ghost and Hunter's Moon, a track featured in Halloween Kills. And I guess all of my talk about horror movies when we were talking about Cannibal Corpse led to my Facebook feed letting me know about an upcoming horror event that, though I don't believe I'll be able to attend, I figured I'd tell you about, because I know we got a lot of Ice Nine Kills fans. Ice Nine Kills, going to be here in just a few weeks. Holy cow, that will be fun. But I also know we got a lot of horror fans that listen to the show. So you might want to try to make your way over to the Ice Nine Kills Silver Scream Con. Now you're going to have to fly to the other side of the country. It's going down in Worcester, Massachusetts. September 13th through 15th. This looks like a lot of fun. It's hosted by Ice Nine Kills, and nothing like a horror convention, right? I've actually never been to a horror convention. I've wanted to go before. The horror writers hold a variety of horror conventions throughout the years, and even though I am not a horror writer, as a fan, I've always wanted to go, meet some of my favorite authors, bring some books, get them signed. Just haven't ever got around to it. But a horror con like this, it's more of like a Comic-Con type thing. You got all the horror movie stars and things like that. Plus Ice Nine Kills appearing live. It's a 3-day event. The ticket packages don't look like a really bad deal to me for 3 days. If you want to go to the show, the Ice Nine Kills concert, and 3 days of con, it's like it's $141. If you just want to go to the con, 3 days, $81. Now again, you're gonna have to fly to Worcester, but I mean, I'm pretty impressed by the list of guests that they've got lined up for this thing. Of course, you have Ice Nine Kills, all of their songs paying homage to the mighty genre that is horror. But they got some major stars. Danny Trejo, Machete himself gonna be there. I actually have a signed Machete poster my sister got for me, and it's very cool. It's hanging up in my my basement living room. I can't call it a man cave because my whole house is a man cave, so that's not fair. But got that hanging up down there. Machete, that's a movie I need to watch again. I love that movie. Why haven't I watched that in so long? But for example, some of the other stars going to be there. David Arquette, who was in Scream. Also watched another great movie he was in the other day, Bone Tomahawk. That was a good movie. Eli Roth, director of Hostel and Cabin Fever. You got Jamie Kennedy, who was in Scream. The guy who plays the clown in Terrifier. the director of the Terrifier movies, lots of other stars from Terrifier, even the little girl who's in Terrifier 2, who is just so hilarious. Now, Terrifier 2, that movie had a lot of bad rap when it came out. Oh, this movie is the most gruesome movie of all time. And it wasn't, because I've watched a lot of really gruesome horror movies. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was a hilarious movie. It was just too long. It was like 2.5 hours long. And that was just too much. I wasn't like disgusted. It'd take a lot for a movie to make me squirm. But it just kind of like, all right, is this movie going to get over anytime soon? Why is this so long? This isn't The Godfather. What's going on here? Who else is going to be there? You've got stars from Halloween, stars from The Devil's Rejects, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Final Destination, Friday the 13th. So many different people. If you're a horror fan, I mean, it's like everybody. You got the woman who played the nun in the Conjuring movies. She's going to be there. Yeah, even Jose Mangan from Sirius XM Octane. Now, wait a minute. Where's Victor Wilt on this list? Oh, yeah. I am not a known celebrity outside of East Idaho. So I guess I don't have the clout to be kicking it with Jose Mangan. Is Jose a big horror fan? I mean, I know he's an Ice Nine Kills fan, but I'm an Ice Nine Kills fan and a horror guy. All right? I really got to make friends with Spencer when he comes to town. We need to sit down and talk horror. I mean, there's a great picture of me you can see online when I was introducing Ice Nine Kills the last time they were here. I'm rocking my Pet Cemetery shirt, screaming to the crowd. But I didn't get to meet. Well, no, I did meet him, but I didn't get to really talk horror with him. He just took a photo, signed some stuff. It was really quick. I got to get him in studio. I'll hit up my guy at the label. I think Spencer's done some bad interviews with radio people, and most bands probably have, because radio people tend to ask a bunch of hokey crap. You know, putting out a bad name for all of us. But then maybe next year I could be part of Silver Screen Con. People are like, who's this guy? Why is he here? Well, what about this guy, Ryan J. Downey? He's just a guy who works at Loudwire. He looks familiar. I think I might have met him before. I don't know. He writes for Spin and apparently the Knotfest website. He's not even wearing a horror shirt. Come on now. Anyway, this looks fun. I'm not going to be able to go, but I don't know. If you're looking for something to do and you're really into horror, go to silverscreamcon.com. I bet it would be a lot of fun. Horror fans are like metalheads. Bunch of nerds. Be a good time to hang out with them. I was just chatting with Lisa about Jose from Octane. You know, I wasn't like calling him out for being on the Silver Scream Con panel of guests by any means. Big supporter of Ice Nine Kills. But I guess, because I don't know the guy very well. I've met him, and he was very nice. Very nice. But this was at a rock radio convention, and the subject of horror did not come up. I don't tend to have time to tune into his show, so I don't know a lot about him. But I guess he's a big horror guy. So next time that I go to a radio convention, which hopefully, since it's been a number of years, maybe I can go to, you know, one of these upcoming ones. There's only one that I know about, actually, in February. But hopefully if I could go, the Octane crew will be there. They're always fun to hang out with, and can have a horror discussion with Jose. Because horror fans, like I said, like metalheads. You see somebody in a, Chucky t-shirt. It's one of those deals like when you see somebody wearing a metal shirt, you're like, hey, what up? You just know. You give each other the look like, yeah, you know what's cool. Speaking of cool, this is pretty cool. Josh shared this on, I guess, his personal Facebook page, Josh from Classy. New Idaho wildlife license plates. I know that's a weird transition from horror into, hey, let's talk about the beauty of nature. But that's how this show goes, all right? I have never got a custom plate for my vehicle because I'm cheap, all right? I get that vehicle registration in the mail. I'm like, all right, what's the cheapest I can do? And usually it's like, oh, I should probably buy the 2-year thing because I know they're just going to charge more and more every year. But I'm always like, what if some idiot runs into my truck and totals it? You can't get the money back on a registration. So I always just go cheap, basic license plate, renew for 1 year. But, I think one of these license plates could look pretty cool on my truck. I like this one with the elk. Yeah, because elk are beastly. They don't mess around. They'll attack cars and stuff like that. They're one of those animals like bison that we get great news stories about, elks attacking people. Gives me content for my show. Sorry, I don't get a lot of content from the mountain bluebird. But I don't know, I guess a bluebird on your license plate is pleasant enough. They also got one with a fish. Look like a rainbow trout jumping out of the water. All right, I think the elk one, that's where I'm at if I was going to pay for a custom plate. But I don't know if I'm going to do that because I'm cheap. But they're available. I should probably share this post so you can go check it out. Post from the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation. Because custom plates are neat. I don't know what I would put on the words. Because I don't want people to necessarily know it's me. By putting Victor. Somebody calling. All right, I guess they better be on topic here. K-Bear, you are live on the show. Please keep that in mind. Who's this?
Hey, this is Zach. How's it going?
Zach, good. What's up?
Hey, just saying, you can't get your money back on registration, but you can transfer it to another vehicle.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's true, huh?
Yeah. If some idiot does plow into your truck, whenever you get next, just take the plates with you.
See, this is why I need listeners in my life. Because I just assume things, and I have gotten new vehicles and transferred the plates. So why do I not think of this? Because I'm a moron sometimes. So thank you, Zach.
Yeah, have a good day.
Hey, you too, man. Peace. All right, so now if I was truly going to get a custom plate, I don't know if I'd necessarily actually want the one with an elk on it. Because, I don't know, I'm not a huge outdoorsy guy. I like to drive around in the outdoors and look. Be like, hey, check it out. This is really, really pretty. But, you ain't going to find me with a tent in the back of my truck. That's for sure. No way. What kind of custom plates do we have that might be more to my liking? Let's pull this up here. We got a lot of different custom plates. Wow. I didn't realize there was so many. All right, you've got the Idaho Vandals. You got a Boise State. You got the 4-H with a clover. You got a farm for agriculture. There's a horse. The Appaloosa plate. I guess a small airplane, a pilot's paradise. We got mountain biking. You got the Boise Capitol. I'm sure you've seen those around. When I see those, I know that's a smug Boise person. I live in the capital. I live in Boise. Get out of here, all right? Smug Boise people. I'm not seeing any of these plates that really strike my fancy. I will say that the new elk plate looks better than the old one. Because they got the old one here on the Idaho Transportation Department website. Why don't we have a simple all-black license plate? Utah has one. I saw one the other day, and I was like, that would look awesome on my truck. Just an all-black license plate. All of ours are very colorful, unless you have a classic vehicle, and then those are black and white. But my truck is not a classic vehicle, and they probably have some kind of restrictions on what type of vehicle you can put a classic plate on. Because this one's funny. It says old timer and has an old Model T. That would be funny to put on my truck. But it says vehicle qualified next to it. So you have to have a certain kind of vehicle. Can we just get a simple all black license plate? Come on now. If we've got one that shows somebody planting trees, come on. Why not something for the, I don't know. It just goes back to yesterday. We talked about how my closet, if you look at it, it's all black clothes. It's my favorite color. It's not a color. It's a tint or whatever. Whatever. Freak news powered by Grease Monkey. voted Idaho's best oil change. Here we go. All right. Headed to Texas to kick things off, where a 46-year-old man is accused of rigging toilets at several car wash locations, placing small explosives under the toilet seats that were designed to detonate under pressure. All right. If you're at the point that you have to go so bad you would use the car wash toilet, can you imagine sitting down and all of a sudden, BAM! Oh. It's horrible. Let's see, did anybody actually sit down on one and end up injured? Yes. 3 incidents, small explosions. I don't know if anybody was hurt, but they heard a loud bang. There was one person injured, and reports that the customer was very upset and left the location before a report was made. If you sit on a toilet and blows up, call the cops, all right? Jeez, what a jerk, man. Why the car wash bathroom? Did something happen that, took his car through and, I don't know, scratched up the side or something like that? Took part of his sweet wrap off? What a jerk. What a jerk. Well, he's going to be in jail for a while. You start monkeying around with explosives, the authorities do not like that. So, yeah, geez. Be careful in the public bathrooms. I guess lift up the seat first before you just sit down. There are maniacs out there. Speaking of maniacs, have you heard about this guy, Philip Petit? He's been around for a long time. He's a famous tightrope walker. I guess this week he's going to walk a high wire across the nave of St. John the Divine in New York City, the world's largest cathedral. He's most famous, I think, for walking between the World Trade Center back in 1974. I watched a documentary about this one time. It was like watching that documentary about that, what's his name? Alex Honnold, I think? Where he goes and climbs like rocks at Yosemite with no ropes. Oh, that free climbing. Yeah, watching this documentary about the guy walk between the World Trade Center on a tightrope. He doesn't have a net under him, okay? It's all windy up there. It was very impressive, but as someone who's not big on heights, it made me uneasy. Anyway, he did that 50 years ago, so he's got to be, like 70? And he's going to go tightrope walk again? Well, he's a pro. Oh, he's 74 now. There you go, about to turn 75. I hope at age 75, I'm just walking, all right? Let alone getting up on a tightrope without a net. 75. It's the new 40, I guess. Dude's making me feel really old right now. Jeez. What else do we got going on here? Got a lawsuit going up against the company who tried to take a submarine to the Titanic last year. Crew of Titan Sub knew they were going to die before implosion, according to $50 million lawsuit. The lawsuit says the crew experienced terror and mental anguish before the disaster. Yeah, no kidding. I don't think it was just all of a sudden poof. I'm sure there was, this pressure building and creepy creaking sound. All right. You know what scares me worse than walking a tightrope? Being miles below the surface of the ocean in a submarine. All right? Terrifying. I don't like being in the ocean on the beach. All right? I don't like being 1 foot deep. I don't like my feet in the water. So, I would have experienced terror and mental anguish the minute that submarine went down a few feet. Get me out of here! Claustrophobia kicking in. Anyway, based on the lawsuit, if that's, again, the basis behind the payment, they'll probably get it. Because, I would assume if you are in a submarine and you know it's about to implode, there's going to be some terror and stress. in those final moments. Yeah, avoid some of these crazy excursions, all right? They just don't seem to go well. Yesterday, I talked about a Texas school that was trying to ban all black clothing over mental health concerns. And I personally thought this was ridiculous because that's my wardrobe. All black clothing, and it's been that way since I was a teenager. It's just what's comfortable for me. Like if I put on a white t-shirt, it just feels like there's a bright light kind of outside of my vision at all times or something. I don't enjoy wearing super light clothing. I just like my black clothes. And I guarantee that if somebody who's really into all black clothing is forced to wear clothes they don't want to wear, that's going to be much more detrimental to their mental health than just letting them dress how they want. If I was forced to wear white pants and a white shirt every day at work, Jade, don't get any ideas here. No dress. I mean, we sort of have a dress code. It's kind of a common sense dress code, right? Like, don't wear a Cannibal Corpse shirt to work, all right? Pretty simple to figure out. If it's going to bother an average person, don't wear it. You know, today, what do I got? In-N-Out Burger shirt, courtesy of Peaches. This will only bother a few people because it does say the word California on it. So I might have to question this one moving forward in the future. To some people in East Idaho, that word is offensive. But I think I'm okay. So anyhow, they put this plan on hold after a number of parents pointed out, how is the color of clothing going to have an impact on somebody's emotional well-being? All right? Making people wear different colored clothes isn't going to magically make them a completely different person. So shout out to them for putting that on hold. It was just stupid. What's up, Peaches?
Oh, nothing. What's up?
Right. Not much, man. How's it going?
Good.
I was just talking about that Texas school trying to ban black clothing, and they reneged on that.
Good.
They turned it around because it's dumb.
Right, yeah.
I mean, Peaches, you'd be fine. You're not wearing all black.
No.
So you're okay with your light green shirt, or maybe it's blue. I can't tell by the lighting in here. What is that shirt?
Like a...
What does it say on it?
Seal Beach.
Seal Beach.
Yeah.
Okay, so both you and I are rocking California shirts, so I already said we're borderline on offending people. So we are currently probably upsetting potentially Katie Lee next door.
Uh-oh.
Because you said she's not a fan of In-N-Out Burger either.
Yeah.
So this is In-N-Out Burger, and it says California.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in that font that's kind of like old school, like gangster rap font.
Well, we heard AI Katie Lee yesterday saying she loves California.
I know, and it sounded pretty legit to me. After you left yesterday, I showed Josh, AI Josh Tyler.
Oh, no. What was his reaction?
He was horrified because of how much it sounded like him. I was very blown away.
Did you show Chantel, too?
No, she was gone at that point. You mean Chantel?
Chantel.
Because that's what...
We got to show Katie, too.
We'll have to show Katie.
Yeah.
I showed him you, and he thought you were pretty spot on, too. He was,
it was fairly close.
Yeah. It was pretty close, other than the very beginning when you go, "Hi, I'm Peaches."
Hi.
After that, it sounds pretty spot on, and then Jade's was perfect. But
Did you show him Jade's?
I did show him Jade's.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was kind of terrified by that.
Did you show Jade himself?
I did not get a chance to show Jade, but we'll have to. If he comes down here today, I'll let him know.
Today we'll get Jay Hildebrandt, I think, on it.
Yeah, and we got to get Lou Brutus. Got to get Lou Brutus.
Do we have any clips of him anywhere?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have all the hard drive.
Because I got to save it into
system.
Speechify.
Yeah, you can go into NextGen and save files elsewhere. So you could save a hard drive file.
And the next time he comes to the studio, to be like, "Lou, you remember saying this?" And just play him the
Victor Wilt is the greatest radio show host I've ever heard of all time.
I have a signed guitar from the legendary Victor Wilt.
I showed off my signed Lou Brutus guitar because I was like,
I saw that. I did see that.
I was like, I bet Lou doesn't have that, huh? Take that. You got all the merch in the world, but no signed Lou Brutus guitar. So.
Can't he just sign a guitar himself?
Peaches, be quiet. I don't need to give this guy any ideas. I got to have some kind of merch that's very hard to find. Very hard to find. I don't see a lot of Lou Brutus and Darla the Wonder Dog guitars out there.
I should have taken a photo of the Rob Van Darn poster I got in my
Rob Van Darn
in my childhood bedroom.
Looking at an article here from The Guardian called "This is Impossible. Can Kids Master the Video Games Their Parents Loved?" Well, I'll give you an answer on that. The answer is yes, if they put the effort in. Guaranteed. Because kids are always going to be more skilled than the previous generation. And I know those of us who are older don't want to hear that, but look at innovation. Does it not just seem to continue on and get better and better and crazier and crazier? A lot of people like to poo-poo on, younger people. Oh, they're lazy. They don't want to work. Nah, they got skills. They got skills and they're really smart. I have played lots of video games with my kids. All right. And I've played old video games with them too. And generally, as we're starting off, I can crush them. Because I've played these games a million times. And I played them when I was young. All right. I remember. There's muscle memory there. That's the thing about the old video games. Those old Nintendo games, there wasn't a lot of randomization in them. If you could memorize the path you needed to take, ultimately you could crush pretty much any of those old games. It just took learning the patterns, all right? Watch the movie The King of Kong, a Donkey Kong documentary. It's awesome. It's a great documentary. I need to rewatch it. It's very fun. Donkey Kong, all about patterns, all right? Well, this article, you have parents playing video games with their kids, and they'll play some of the games their kids play, and then they'll bring their kids back to play some of the old ones. And I personally think that due to the randomization that takes place in modern video games, those games, a lot of them are way harder, ultimately, than the old games. Because, you want to see me play Overwatch with my kids? It's an embarrassment. A total embarrassment. They'll kill me every time. You give me a game where I can do pattern memorization like Super Meat Boy, which is, pretty much an homage to old school Super Mario Bros. There we go. Now I can, show them how it's done. But they definitely have the skill. Because if you've played Super Mario Wonder at times is very difficult. A very difficult video game. And my daughter got really into the game. She didn't play a lot of the old school Marios. Probably some of them starting on the Wii. Yeah, she can destroy me on Mario Wonder. And pretty much any game that they, put their mind to learning how to play. Once you get old, your reflexes are just gone. You're not going to be able to beat the kids. I was playing Mario Kart with the girls and my girlfriend, and we're all playing online. All three of them, they just crushed me over and over. I just don't have it anymore. That's why I play slow-paced games like Red Dead Redemption. I've been playing GTA 5 again. It's so good, so good. But I tell you, the one spot where I start to really struggle is racing. Never been good at racing games. I'm sure it was a disappointment to my dad, who was a stock car racer. But I seem to remember my dad even beating me at Mario Kart on Super Nintendo. Now we got a caller. Let's see what they want. K-Bear, you're live on the show. Please keep that in mind. Who's this?
Victor, good morning.
It's the Redneck. What you got on video games, man?
Well, I have to agree with you. I mean, kids are just so much more technology savvy today than what we were growing up. I mean, I still got a Nintendo 64, and my little ones absolutely love playing Mario Kart and Diddy Kong on that.
Oh, yeah.
But I look at, I watch my 17-year-old play, and it's like, dude, slow down. You're taking energy drinks.
Yep. There are certain games that I'm just like, I'll watch, like Overwatch. Yeah, I'm just not even going to try. That's way too fast-paced for this old man. And I'm terrible at first-person shooters as well. I'm awful. I always play them on easy. If a game has a good story, like BioShock or, Resident Evil, the newer ones, I just put it on easy and I go through it without trying to beat myself up too bad at my lack of skill.
It And that's how my wife is on that stuff. Like, I got her hooked on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and now she wants to play all the Assassin's Creeds because she likes doing it with the bigger storyline.
Yeah, I like those kind of games, for sure.
It's something I never thought I would see, but, like, you look at the graphics nowadays, I mean, it's almost like watching a movie or watching a sports game.
Dude, there's a game on PlayStation 5 called Ratchet and Clank, something about a rift, time rift. I don't remember what it's called, but it's the most amazing looking video game I've ever seen. And it's like playing a Pixar movie. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's so good. It blows my mind every time I fire that game up, just how good the graphics are. And it's just getting better and better. I mean, give it 5 years. We'll probably have like straight up realistic life, like everything, to where it's like you're playing a straight up filmed movie. So,
oh yeah, I believe it. I mean, what she loves watching me play, and the one game she refuses to watch me play, she'll get out, leave the room, and go somewhere else if I play it. It's one of my favorite games. Is Ace Combat 7.
I haven't played that one. Haven't played it.
Oh man, it's awesome. I love it. And I'll sit there and play hours and hours, and I'll waste a whole day if I'm not feeling good or something on the online experience playing against people across the globe. And I love playing with my VR.
Oh yeah, dude. VR gaming, man. I'm a huge fan of that, and I need to get back into it. I was playing Resident Evil 4, and then I stopped for a bit, and you forget the controls and where you're at, and I just got to start over on it. So good to hear from you, man.
I put my 2 cents in, so you have yourself a good day. I'll see you here in a little bit. I'm going to bring you some donuts.
Donut day. All right, cool. Thank you, the Redneck. Appreciate it, man.
All right, we'll catch you in a bit, Victor.
Peace.
Bye.
So yeah, video games with your kids, a good fun activity. Even if you're not a gamer, if your kids are into games, you should sit down, and even if you suck, just give it a shot. They'll have fun. I always had fun playing with my parents, and they weren't good. I'd play Mario Bros with my mom. And, they were figuring it out. It wasn't like they were terrible, but it was fun. It's fun watching your parents play video games. And when you can do better than them at video games, it's satisfying. So, make your kids feel good. Play some games with them. We've got Peaches in the house. And Jade, I heard a radio break that you did yesterday, and I just thought you were being kind of rude. I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't in the studio yesterday. You're full of crap.
I think it was an old break. Like, Peaches found it somewhere, and I don't know.
Peaches full of crap, too.
Maybe somebody recorded you in another studio, and you were, just talking crap. I don't know. Do you remember saying this, Jade?
Hey, it's Jade Davis. I used to be a fun, outgoing young guy here in the building, but now I'm this old, monotone, boring guy that likes to hand off a ton of work to Victor because I don't want to do it myself. I also like to make sure that no one else has fun in the building by saying no to a lot of what they ask me. Like Peaches the other day asked to go home and go see his family in December for Christmas. Did I let him? No, of course not. He is in fact now working double time that day for even asking me such a stupid question. Now I need to get going to hand off more work to Victor and see what the big boss man down the hall needs. Jade out. Hey, it's Jade Davis.
Close.
It's pretty close, isn't it?
It's a bit robotic.
A bit, yeah. The timing's off, but the tone of the voice,
the tone, some of the inflection that I would normally use is a little off. But
yeah. It was weird, man. I mean, the one for me that Peaches made yesterday.
The voice that I use for the Alt 101 imaging would probably be spot on because I'm just like, all right, Alt 101, and I talk that way anyway. So you might need to try some of that, Peaches.
I should, yeah.
And see if it comes out the same way, and then I never have to voice anything for Alt 101 ever again.
That is true, yeah.
That's a great point. Yeah, we thought about using it to whip together an intro for the new podcast we're working on for artist interviews, the Artist Interrogation Podcast, just to AI Jade and make it talk about how awesome me and Peaches are. Things like that.
We got to do it with that. All right. That one.
We do got to do Douglas Baldwin for the noon hour, for sure.
Oh, yeah. The other one is going to be,
we're here, Artist Interrogation. That's right. Check this out. Listen to AI Josh.
Good morning, Classy Nation. It's your boy Josh here with the fabulous Chantel. And guess what? Today is National Cotton Candy Day. Don't knock it till you try it, Chantel. Cotton candy is a classic. I mean, who doesn't love that fluffy, sugary
That
goodness?
sounds pretty spot on.
The reason why you hear that below him is because there was music below his voice in the original audio. So for some reason, AI didn't know what to do.
Yeah, so it makes it sound like he's out on location doing a live broadcast, which almost makes it sound more real.
You should play on my break.
Playing Peaches? Okay, let's listen to Peaches break real quick here and see what you think about. Josh thought Peaches was pretty spot on.
Hi, it's Peaches here. I like to pretend I'm not that big, dumb, fat, stupid guy, and I hate that stereotype, but I do have to come clean and say, you know what? Maybe I am all off those big, dumb, and fat. I mean, my shirts could work as covers for cars. Recently, I had an embarrassing incident where listeners saw me crying sitting down on the Greenbelt bench because some girl dumped me and left me for another man. Peach no like that. Peach very angry. Peach also listened to Dayseeker on repeat. Peach need to go take a potty break. Peach out.
Peach need to start talking like that. Peach would sound much better if Peach started talking like that. I expect Peach to do breaks in that Peach type manner from this Peach on forward.
We got Jade Davis in the house. Jade,
What up, Victor?
I was wondering if you think this is a good idea.
Nope. If it's coming from you, it's terrible.
Well, it's not my idea, that's for sure. This was just
All right.
an article I read about a woman who was trying to figure out a way to save money on gas. So she was, stealing it, siphoning gas.
That's a bad idea on a variety of levels.
Like just siphoning gas alone it's not good. I've never attempted that because it sounds horrifying and disgusting and dangerous as well. She ended up being charged with arson because while she was siphoning the gas,
Trying smoking a cigarette at the
she
same
was
time.
smoking at the same time.
I can tell the future.
And,
Man, life is hard, but life is a lot harder when you're dumb.
Absolutely. She's quite the pro because she destroyed 2 U-Haul vehicles this way in one night.
The first one went up in flames. Figured she'd try another one and see if it was a fluke.
Dude, like,
The definition of insanity, doing the same thing with the idea of a different outcome.
must be. I was hoping they had a mugshot because I wanted to see how close to Freddy Krueger she looked, but they
Still had eyebrows or not?
yeah, that surprised look. Whoa! Man, it just blows my mind sometimes, the information that I find on the internet. Just mind-boggling facts. Check this out. There was a recent poll that found that the extreme heat that the U.S. has been experiencing is impacting most Americans' electricity bills. Can you believe this? I would have never been able to figure this out without this poll. Somebody funded this, they made a bunch of calls, and they found out that when you need to use air conditioning, your electric bill goes up. Wow, that's from the Associated Press. All right, very important breaking news. Yeah. There are other things that extreme heat might have an impact on. This is going to be as surprising to you as the fact that extreme heat leads to increased electricity bills. Check this out. It might also impact you or your family's outdoor activities. Yeah, if it's like really hot outside and you enjoy hiking in the Arizona mountains, it might have an impact that results in your death. Yeah. Can also impact your exercise routine and your pets. They don't like it when it's hot. Your sleep. Yeah, if your room's all hot, did you know you're going to sleep like garbage? I'm glad I can help you out with these kind of life pro tips here. Getting back to that electricity bill thing, if you want to sleep better, you got to pump some cool air into that room. All right? Yeah, I know. It's weird. It's weird. But I'm glad I can help out. Anything I can do to make the day-to-day a little bit easier on you. Give you these tips like thin blanket. I don't know. Why is this a news article? Well, it gave me something to talk about, huh? Yeah. Hey, it's okay if some of my breaks are useless, all right? I do my best to deliver quality content about 95% of the time. And so I end up delivering maybe about 60% quality content. Depending on your opinion of the show, it might be lower. But I end up feeling satisfied with, maybe 50%. That last break, I think it was I give it a C+ in the world of radio. I've heard much worse because I'm helping the community. That boosts it up a little bit when you're doing your duty as a broadcaster to have a positive impact and be of help to your community. So I will go submit that to my issues reporting so I can feel really good about myself. What's happening, Peaches?
I do love how this year for Halloween, or for Halloween decor, people are going bigger and bigger with these statues and inflatables. We talked about, of course, when it came out first, the 12-foot tall skeleton.
Yes, they're all over the place.
Then there's now the 25 or 24-foot tall Beetlejuice. And
wait
now,
a minute. I think you might have told me about this.
Now, it gets even better. You ready for this one?
Yes.
There's a 35-foot tall Michael Myers inflatable.
Okay, 35-foot Michael Myers.
And he's carrying a knife. He's some giant. He stands there with,
Wow.
menacingly. It's about $2,000 for this inflatable.
Now, okay, let's see. This is why I'm broke.com. Yeah, 3 G's.
Look at that thing.
$3,000. I mean, it would look amazing in front of my house.
I mean, 35 feet. You got to think how tall that really is.
Well, check this one out. Here's a 25-foot for only $500, Peaches.
Yeah, but that's not 35 feet.
It's not.
You're going to
but
get laughed at by the other guys who have 35-foot tall Michael Myers inflatables.
I wonder if my neighbors who have the skeleton up year-round and all the other skulls in their yard and stuff, I wonder if they would consider investing in the 35-foot Michael Myers. I hope they do. And I hope they leave it up year-round, too.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
I do like their skeleton out front. It's cool.
I like it too, and I'm seeing them all over the place. I think those 12-foot skeletons make great decorations for people's yards. I'm all for them up year-round. Now, I do think you should try to get a bit festive with them, depending on the time of year. I don't know, you put the turkey hat on it during Thanksgiving.
You give it a bow and arrow for Valentine's Day.
That's right, yeah, make it a little Cupid-esque.
Give it a beard and does a giant red. What's the name of Santa's outfit?
Santa's suit?
Yeah, I guess.
I think that's what it's
Is it
called.
a suit?
Santa's suit. A Santa suit.
It looks like a glorified robe.
It is kind of robe-like.
But I get it because, he's showing up at night in your house. He doesn't want to wear a suit.
Well, yeah, if you're going to slide down a chimney, you don't get the clothes underneath all dirty.
Yeah.
Got to be able to take the...
Do you think he's wearing clothes underneath, or do you think he's just wearing tighty-whities?
You know what? That's a good question. Does Santa wear underwear under his suit? Because it looks like a soft suit.
Because wouldn't you think after you're done delivering all the presents, you just go right to bed? You just take the suit off?
Are you pondering whether Santa sleeps naked, Peaches?
Sure.
Is that what's going on here?
Because in the summertime, I do.
Let's hot out. We talked about the way heat can impact your life earlier, and one of the issues was sleep. I know it's breaking news.
I look like a weird rotisserie chicken when I'm asleep at night. Just naked Peaches rolling in his bed.
I said, I recommend a thin blanket, but the Peaches route also helps to stay cool. But see, Santa, I guess he's got to enjoy a little bit of summertime as well. So during winter, I would think he might wear some clothes.
Yeah.
Winter's not the time of year that it's best to sleep naked.
Well, he lives in the North Pole year round.
That's true. It's always winter.
Yeah.
You're right.
He's fine.
So
He's used to it.
He's acclimated. You're
Yeah.
right. He's acclimated. He sleeps naked. Snow, minus 30 below. He don't care.
Did you ever scare the
Santa.
kids by going to NORAD, going to their website, and then seeing where exactly Santa was in the world? And if he was getting close, you would have you would tell the kids, go to bed, go to bed. He'll skip our house if we're awake.
I should have thought of doing that, but I did not.
That's what my
Peaches.
parents did. I ran upstairs like
I'm going to get to bed immediately. Oh.
I'd pretend to be asleep.
Yeah, nothing worse than trying to get to sleep as a kid on Christmas Eve. It was impossible.
Well, it sucks because most of my friends will throw like these little get-togethers, and I'll go over there and I realize it's 10 p.m. and I need to go back home to go to sleep because Santa's coming with the presents.
Yeah, you mentioned scaring the kids into going to sleep. I didn't scare them into going to sleep, and this is not a Christmas story. It's an Easter story. I may have told you this one before.
I think.
But
maybe
we did like an Easter egg hunt here at work, It was the, East Idaho's biggest Easter egg hunt or something like that. And we don't do that event anymore. But for some reason, we had rented an Easter Bunny costume. And they asked me to return it to the Party Palace in Pocatello. So I have this Easter Bunny costume in my car. And it's close to Easter. Not even Easter. But one night I get the bright idea. I'm like, I should put the Easter Bunny costume on and then show up and give the kids some candy. I'll show up at my own house, knock on the door, and give them some candy. And I don't know why I went about it in this way, but I did it at nighttime and went to the back door, which is a door nobody ever goes to at that place. This was in Pocatello. So I'm knocking at the back door, which is, they were pretty little at the time too. They were probably like 3 and 5 or something. They were really little. And maybe even younger than that. But, one of the kids answers the door, and I'm in this Easter Bunny costume. And I mentioned earlier, I'm very claustrophobic.
Yeah.
The minute I put that Easter Bunny head on, I started like hyperventilating. I was very uncomfortable. So they open the door, and they see this Easter Bunny in the dark. This outline of an Easter Bunny. And all they could hear is, because I'm starting to panic in this suit. And I'm holding out this like candy. And they were so scared.
Imagine how adorable your little kids are. Maddie and Taryn just screaming, running back to the car.
Yeah. And I don't know why I thought they'd think it was fun, but it just terrified them and then made me like, I could never put a suit on like that again. I thought it would be just like dressing up for Halloween. Something about it being enclosed in that head. It was terrible.
Well, good news for you. We signed you up to be the Chuckers mascot next season.
No way. I am not going to be Charlie Chucker. No. What up? It's me, Victor Wilt. About time for me to get on out of here. But before I go, I want to talk with you about one of my favorite artists of all time. Recently brought this up. The artist Dax Riggs, who I think is my favorite singer of all time. If I had to just pick one, I've got a lot of favorites, but if I had to pick just one, I think Dax Riggs would be my favorite vocalist of all time. He hasn't done anything musically for a long time. I follow him on social. He's a very quiet guy. Just seems to be doing his thing, living down in Louisiana, being a family man. I figured he was done putting out music, which made me sad because he's released so much great music over the years, since I was a teenager. First introduced to Dax Riggs from the band Acid Bath, which is one of my all-time favorite bands. They're so good. After Acid Bath broke up, he went on to form Agents of Oblivion. After that, Dead Boy and the Elephant Men. And then he just started putting stuff out under his, solo name until this, big hiatus, I guess you'd call it. I don't even remember the last time the guy dropped any kind of music. Somebody found a page on his website recently indicating that there was a new song coming soon and a new album in October. And no word from, the guy himself. Then all the posts about that just suddenly disappeared. The page disappeared. And I was like, oh, man, is this like some kind of old page that, somebody just happened to find and now it wasn't pertinent information? And it's not the case, all right? There is new music coming from Dax Riggs. Last time he dropped music, 2010, with the album Say Goodbye to the World. And Say Goodnight to the World, excuse me. Gonna play the title track from that album for you here in a minute. But before I go, I wanted to give you the update on what's going on. So they posted on his website, the announcement for the new album, 7 Songs for Spiders, was not supposed to be revealed yet. Therefore, the new song Deceiver from the upcoming album is not available at this time. The webmaster for DAX's official website made a mistake, left the announcement page on the server. Their system logged the newly created page to the website sitemap file, and then things like Google that scan the internet picked it up, and this made it visible to where people found it. So, right now, no official announcement on when the new song is going to be available, but should be available sometime by the end of this month or the beginning of next month. Man, that's a long time to wait for me. But they did say the new album is dropping October 11th, which, man, 14 years with no new music from my favorite vocalist of all time. Very exciting news for me. Thank you again for tuning in to the Victor Welch Show. This program's a production of River. Why can't I say that? God.
Tough to say, Riverbend Media Group.
Riverbend Media Group. This program's a production of God. This program's a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.